So today we're going to take a look at the review for exponents and logs. And we're going to start with the non-calculator part. So we're going to simplify this to 16 to the 1/2 power and then cubed. So we pull out that denominator. 1/2 is the same as the square root. So this is really 4 cubed, which is 64. 16 to the 1/4, so we're thinking what number to the 4th power gives you 16? So that would be 2. Number 3 is one where once again we have to separate this out. So this is 27 to the 1/3 squared. So this part we're thinking what number cubed gives us 27? So that's 3. So 3 squared is 9. 32 to the 3/5, 32 to the 1/5 cubed. So this part we're thinking what number to the 5th gives us 32. So that's 2 cubed, which is 8. Number 5 here, 25 to the 1/2. 25 to the 1/2 cubed. So what number squared gives you 25? So that's 5. So this is really 5 cubed, which is 125. 8 to the 5/3. So that would be 8 to the 1/3 to the 5th power. So that parentheses, what number cubed gives you 8? So that's 2. So 2 to the 5th is 32. And number 7 here, 64 to the 1/3 squared. So we're thinking what number cubed gives us 64? So that's 4 in parentheses, and 4 squared is 16. And then the last one, number 8 here, 125 to the 2/3. So 125 to the 1/3 squared. So we're thinking this inside part, what number cubed gives us 125? So that's going to be 5 squared is 25. So now let's see, what are we going to move on to? Simplifying some exponents here. Whoops. So this first one here, we have to distribute that 3. So 3 cubed n to the 6th. Well, 3 cubed is 27 n to the 6th. So this one would be y to the -8th times y to the 8th. Well, we add exponents, so that's y to the 0 or 1. Or you might have thought about this as we flip our negatives, so y to the 8th over y to the 8th. So that's also 1. Either way you could think about it. So we have to distribute. So 4 to the 3 over 2 times y to the 12 over 2. Well, 4 to the 3 over 2, let's write that over here. So that would be 4 to the 1/2 cubed. So that'd be 2 cubed. So this is 8y to the 6th. Number 12. So if we distribute, we have 2 to the 4th, x to the 4th to the -2. So that'd be 2 to the -8, x to the -8. So 1 over 2 to the 8th, x to the 8th. Let's see, 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So that would be 256 x to the 8th. Let's see, 13. So if we distribute 36 to the 1/2, x to the 6/2. Well, 36 to the 1/2 is the square root, so 6x cubed. If we distribute here, we'd have b 2n times half would just be n over b to the -n. So we flip our negatives, so b to the n times b to the n. Well, n plus n is 2n, so b to the 2n. Let's see. 2n divided by 4n to the 1/2. Well, Can't distribute, so we have to simplify here. So 2 over 4 reduces down to 1/2. This is like n to the first, and we know that we subtract. So 1 minus half is half, so it would just be n to the half. Let's see, 16. So if we distribute 3 to the 4th, m to the 4 over 2, times 27 to the 4th, n to the 4 over 4. Oh dear, I don't know what those are multiplied together. So 3 to the 4th times 27 to the 4th times m squared times n to the 1st. 17, do some distributing. So this would be f negative 16 over negative 4 divided by 256 to the negative 1/4 g to the 4 over negative 4 h negative 4 over negative 4. So if we simplify this, this is f to the 4th over, well, we would flip the 256 to the 1/4. G negative 4 over 4 is 1, so g to the 1st, whoops, h to the 1st. So let's rewrite that to make it a little neater. So we got 256 to the 1/4, f to the 4th, g to the 1st divided by h to the 1st. And then 18. So let's see, it's straight multiplying. So if we multiply our numbers together, 2 times 3 is 6. Then we take our x's, so x to the 1/4, x to the 1/4, so x to the 2/4. 1/3 and 2/3 is 3/3. Simplify, 6x to the 1/2, y to the 1st. So let's see this next page. Some more simplifying. So if we distribute on this one, we got 5 squared n to the 6 times n to the negative 6. Well, we add those, so that's 25 n to the 0. So that's just 25. Distribute here, this would be x to the negative 1, 4 to the negative 1/2, y to the 1st. So we do some flipping, so 4 to the 1/2, x to the 1st, y to the 1st. Well, we know 4 to the 1/2 is 2, so 2 over x, y. If we distribute on this next one, 64 to the 1/3, x to the 6/3. Though the third root of 64 is 4, so 4x squared. And distributing again, so 5 to the 1/2, x to the 6 over 2, y to the 4 over 2. So 5 to the 1/2, x to the 3rd, y squared. Well, we got a square root symbol, so rewrite that as an exponent times x to the 3rd, y to the 4th to the 1/2. And if we distribute it, 2 times 1/2 is 1, y to the 3 over 2, x to the 3 over 2, y to the 2. And then we got to combine, we got x and x, so 3 over 2 and 1, so 1.5, so that's x to the 2.5. 3 over 2 plus 2, so 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5. Number 12, if we distribute that, 6a over 3, p to the negative 3a over 3, so that's p to the 2a, p to the negative 1a. Well, if we flip that, we got 2a and 1a. So that's just p to the 3a. Express each using rational exponents. So this is to the half power. So x to the 5th, y to the 6th to the half. So that's x to the 5/2, half of 6 is 3. So the 5th root, that's to the 1/5 power. So 27 to the 1/5. X squared y to the 1st, if we distribute there. Let's see, this next one here, square root, so again, whoops, to the 1/2 power. So if we distribute 144 to the 1/2, half of 6 is 3, y to the 5th, 144 to the 1/2 square root, so 12x to the 3rd, y to the 5th. Let's see, the 3rd root, so this is just 21c to the 7/3. 1024a to the 3rd to the half, so if we distribute 1024 to the half, a to the 3/2. 4th root, so this becomes 36a to the 8th, b to the 5th to the 1/4. Distribute 36 to the 1/4. 8 times 1/4 is 2, b to the 5/4. Then we have some solving ones. Well, this is nice. Our bases are the same, so bases are the same. Exponents have to be equal, so x plus 1 negative 2x plus 10 plus 2x, so 3x plus 1 equals 10 minus 1, so 3x equals 9, so x would be 3. Bases are not the same, but we can write 4 as a power of 2, so 2 squared, x plus 8. So 2 to the 3x minus 9 equals, we distribute 2 to the 2x plus 16. So then 3x minus 9 equals 2x plus 16. So we could solve this, and I think we end up with x equaling 25. Got to make bases the same, so it looks like it's going to be a base of 3. So 3 to the 4x minus 7, 1/3 squared, 2x minus 5. But it's in our denominator, so we have to make it negative. 3 to the negative 2, 2x minus 5. So 3 to the 4x minus 7 equals 3 to the negative 4x plus 10. So bases are the same. So now we have 4x minus 7 equals negative 4x plus 10. So if we solve this, let's see, so that would be 8x equals 17. So x equals 17/8. So what can these both be powers of? Powers of 2. So this is 2 to the negative 5 to the 5 minus x. 2 to the negative 3 to the 4x minus 1. So if we distribute, we got negative 25 plus 5x equals, distribute the negative 3, negative 12x plus 3. So if we solve this, let's see, 17x equals 28. So x equals 28/17.